Today's podcast, we talk about awkward moments that we can learn from, social settings, and the reality that people and community are important, and lastly, about my sweaty forehead. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoy. Introverted Intellect, helping you overcome shyness, social anxiety, depression, and utilizing the power of being an introvert.
Welcome to
Introverted Intellect,
a podcast for
What is going on, guys? Mr. Johnny Raxa back at it again with the Introverted Intellect. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy end of the Monday. This podcast will probably be out by the end of the Monday for you folks out there who are listening. And I'm very happy you guys are joining today. Now, I want to start off and begin by saying that I'm really sad today. Really sad because, well, my coffee spilled all over my stinking carpet. I don't know if I'm more sad about the fact that my coffee pot broke on me and I can't drink coffee and I had to walk all the way to the store and get it, or that the fact that I lost all my coffee. You know, I was actually pretty sad I lost my coffee. I didn't mind having to go buy a new coffee pot I didn't buy a new coffee pot yet, but I don't mind having to go buy one and having it break on me and having to go get coffee at another store. I'm just sad that I didn't get to drink the cool coffee that I just bought and I kind of wasted it. Anyways, that's how much I love coffee. I'm sorry. Yeah, the coffee got all over my carpet. It's the worst thing. I even put a stain there, and I don't have like one of those vacuum cleaners that vacuum up liquids like I had back at my hometown with my parents. I just have a vacuum cleaner. I didn't expect to really. I just knew that I wouldn't spill anything, but I've been spilling things like water and now coffee and some food particles. Some food on the ground. I'm a big mess, and I can't trust that I will always be on top of it when it comes to not spilling, right? Let me take a little sip of my coffee real quick. But yeah, happy Monday, folks, once again. Today I just want to talk about my first day in the job. And I know that the first day in the job is so difficult for so many people. Like, my first day in the job, I was really excited, right? I went up there and I was working at this pretty big company. It's a corporate company, right? So it's more than it's not a startup or anything. It's been around for years. I can't say where I work because if you guys see that I represent the company and I say something bad, then I might get fired. So I'm just going to say this. I work at a big company. It's a clothing company. Anyways, I walk up, take the elevator. I'm scared. I'm shaking. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I walk up there. I meet my boss. Sit down, just don't do anything. Literally the first 2 weeks I didn't do anything, or the first week I didn't do anything because it was so hard for her to get the credentials for my passwords, get everything set up, my laptop. That was a big mess. When you're in a corporate environment, but anyways, I think that in doing that I was able to just kind of go into it with more ease, just kind of sitting around and seeing what to do, but I just did not know what to do with myself. Going to the restroom was I had this major anxiety. What do I do? If I go to the restroom, and just kind of walk around, look around, it's just so foreign to me. This was my first big corporate job, and I didn't even know what to do with my hands. I'm just so awkward, so utterly awkward. I didn't know how to talk to my boss. I didn't know how to say hi to the people around me. That's the thing about my coworkers is that they're quiet people. And a quiet person and then mixed with this new guy who's quiet and shy and just really awkward, it was not a good mix. It was just it was bad. But the first day, my boss had me walking around, right? She had me walk down the hallways with her, go meet some people. She had me go to shadow some meetings and whatnot. The worst thing she did to me, though, was had me answer a question. She went to a slicer. Well, a slicer is one of these people who slice images for me to. Anyways, she asked me a question about a particular thing that I should have known about. She asked me the question, and I had no idea what she was talking about. I started sweating. I started shaking. So she asked me, right? She asked me, "What can you do about this?" And I looked at the screen. I'm like, "Okay, sorry. Can you ask that again?" And she asked it again. I had no idea what she was talking about. I started sweating. I'm like, no, I can't do that. No idea what was happening. No idea what was going on. I was I was I was sweating. The guy who was right there sitting on the table started laughing, chuckling a little bit. I was just no idea what was going on, right? And my boss kind of didn't even say much. She was just quiet, and then we just said okay, and then we just moved on, right? No idea what was going on. It was the scariest time. It was the most awkward and scariest time I've ever had at a job. I mean, that was just, I had to BS my way into knowing something. Well, I mean, I did know it eventually, but I had to BS my answer because I should have just said, I don't know, I don't really understand the question. Sorry, and just kind of, you know, just kind of embraced it and own it. But instead, I had to lie about my answer and say no, but I had no idea what she was talking about. See, that's the thing. Like, that's what makes people so awkward is that you got to just own your mistakes. Because if you're just trying to fumble around thinking that you know something, it falls apart. And then everyone's like, wow, what? Like, really? Yeah, it was a bad situation for all of us. Us three were just, but yeah, that's just something that I had to learn. I took away to realize that, hey, I'm good to not know something. If I don't know something, just embrace it. And I've been a lot more confident these days because I know my job relatively well. There's some stuff I don't know because I choose not to like really embrace all of it because I'm not like the best worker there is. I'm not super passionate about what I do, but I do it and I'm relatively okay at it, right? Yeah. So I think a lot of us have these awkward moments at our jobs. I think the hardest thing for us as introverts and shy people is meeting the people. I said I wanted to have a relationship with other people around me. I wanted to get to know them. I wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to like be comfortable there. I didn't want to be awkward all the time. And it still gets kind of awkward. I mean, it happened for like a year. A whole year, I was awkward around my coworkers because they're so quiet, they're so shy. And I realized that, same with my girlfriend. My girlfriend had major social anxiety when she first started. I mean, literally the first 2 weeks, she did not want to go in, mainly because she just wanted to do work. She didn't want to talk to the people. She didn't want to get to know anybody. But I mean, that's part of the job. That's part of loving your job. It's the people, right? So she was like, if you ever experience a girl on her PMS, it's like walking around with an angry little angel yelling in your ear. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to equate it to that, but it wasn't fun. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It was the worst experience ever to experience your girlfriend yelling at you and lashing out and being tired and grumpy all the time because she hated her job at the time. She hated the fact, and she's always tired after associating with people at her workplace. Now, I can sympathize. I can empathize because I was in that same boat. It was the hardest thing wasn't the job. The job was fun. Doing stuff was fun. But the fact that I had to talk to people, that I had to go up to people and ask them questions, and get to know people, that wasn't easy. That's for sure. I mean, I was just anxious all the time around the folks that I had to work with. And I'm only connecting to people who I had to ask questions to. But the other people, I wanted to get to know them too. It's like awkward. You're sitting right next to them. You're sitting by them. You want to say something, and you want to conversate. And that's when I started to really like the job. To be honest, that's when I started to come out of my shell more and more. Is when I started to to practice and realize the fact that the only way to get really comfortable with this job is to get to know the people. And I think that happens to any industry that you're in. If all you do is create and work, you'll do a lot. But the thing is, the association, eventually you need to associate yourself with the people around you. You know, you can create and craft something as an introvert and be, a lot of introverts are creative because a lot of things are in their mind. They express it in different mediums. So, but the thing is, to further enhance that creativity, you have to associate. So for instance, my girlfriend loves photography. She's an amazing photographer, but she has major social anxiety around people. So like, for instance, we went to a baby shower this past weekend and she wanted to like drink before. So I just thought that was so absurd, but I get it. It's hard. But her goal there was to take photos of people because she didn't know them that well. It was mostly my friends, and she didn't know them, but she offered to take photos, right? So she goes there, takes the photos, and they're just absolutely amazing. But I think the point is, what I'm trying to make here is that her craft involves having to tap people on the shoulders. Hey, you want a picture? Hey, let's get a picture here. And she has to direct and move people around. She still needs to have that social interaction with people. And then afterwards, when she showed the pictures, the photos, they thought they were just amazing, and it was worth it. But yeah, the point is that your creation will affect other people, will cause you to associate with other people. So the main target is people. Even when I work right now, it's a job that is considered do it yourself, get it done, and just move on. But I find that when I talk with my coworkers, when I my business partners, as they say, when I work with them, my colleagues, and I communicate with them, that's when things get done better. That's when things become more enjoyable. Whoops. And overall, I think I've said this before, right? That it's all about the people, And I like that. That's why I started podcasting, because I think people are forgetting the fact that it's all about the people, right? I didn't realize that till after actually I left the community group, that I was part of, that really that emphasized community as so important in your life. And the community can solve a lot of issues in your life. Like, community can also solve the relationship problems. If you have somebody if you have a couple that moves far away out of the, away from family members and all that, you have a couple that moves way out, and all they do is, they just isolate themselves from the world. There's a lot of room for error because of lack of accountability, right? You don't have those people who know you and are like, yo, like, what's going on here? I see what you're doing. You're working late too often. Are you okay? Like, what's going on? Why are you like this? Or maybe I need somebody to talk to, and I have like a close relative or friend. Excuse me. Oh, it's flu season, folks. I'm not sick though. Anyways, community is important, and it's all about the people at work. And awkwardness is something you need to embrace. I know that people don't like to get into these situations where they don't want to be awkward, so they don't even try to go into a situation. I've been in so many awkward situations. I went to talk to people, and I clearly was sweating down my forehead, and it was disgusting. Like, I would go up there and looking like freaking I came out of a pool or sauna or something, and I'm talking to them. You can see those little sweat drops drip down my face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is disgusting. Like, I've seen that happen with other people too. What I usually do in those situations, I literally put my hand on my forehead, and like I'm like playing in my hair, but I'm really just, if you can see me on video, I'm just like kind of like pushing the sweat out of my forehead and into my hair almost, you know, because it's gross. Like I don't want people seeing that. It's just not a fun. And I mean, if I do get awkward, it's time to just kind of. So this is what I do. I say things like, man, it's getting hot in here, or man, I'm starting to blush right now. I literally just own it. You know, I'm like, because this happens a lot when I'm not on my game, when my energy levels are just kind of like like I don't really want to talk, and I have to explain something that I'm having a hard time explaining, and usually I have like a sweater on or something, so my heart starts to beat a little bit more, my blood starts to pump, or my heart starts to pump, and the blood starts moving, and like I'm just like getting into that fight or flight mode, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit, just a little bit too. And when I start to sweat a little bit, I get anxious about the sweat that I'm sweating, so now I'm sweating even more because of that, and it's just a big mess, right? Yeah, it sucks. I sweat sometimes. I'm here telling you guys can grow from awkwardness. People can grow from awkwardness and whatnot, but yet I still can get awkward. Like I literally was super awkward the last week because I was just tired, not like all there, you know. And I had to explain something complicated to one of my coworkers, and it wasn't clicking well with him. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this right now. This is not a winning conversation in my definition. But hey, no perfect conversations, right? There's no such thing as one. All right. I'm thinking about doing this awkward stories from people. I wanted to talk about stories that people have learned from just everyday people, and I think it would be fun. I think that for me, my first day on the job was definitely a awkward moment where I learned from it, and I realized that I need to own that awkwardness. I need to own the fact that I made a mistake, and not pretend that I know stuff that I don't know, right? Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I know this isn't going to be, I don't know if this was a long podcast. I don't know how long it even went. I'm all alone in this trek, guys. I'm all alone. But I got a doctor's appointment today, so I gotta wrap this up. I was thinking I was going crazy this past weekend I didn't sleep, I think, for a whole 8 hours. My stomach I felt like somebody was stabbing my stomach and then twisting the knife. It was ridiculously bad, and this happened at least 2 other times before, so I need to go get checked up for sure. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Once again, please subscribe to the podcast, Introverted Intellect, and find me on Instagram and YouTube as well. Just search up Introverted Intellect, or look at the links in the show notes below. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, awesome, crazy good week. Peace.